Romance of Sui and Tang Dynasties Chapter 10.
The source material kicks off with this, well, quite striking piece of philosophy. It basically says, heaven tests the ones it plans to lift up.
Right.
The path to doing great things, it's not meant to be smooth sailing. It requires, and this is a beautiful phrase, grinding into beautiful jade and tempering into fine gold.
Wow, yeah. That imagery really sets the stage, doesn't it? It gives us the lens to see all the misfortune that's about to unfold. Like, if you're destined for something big, you have to go through the ringer first. Poverty, sickness, getting lost, even shame.
Exactly. It's the total opposite of the person who the text criticizes. The one who blames heaven for every little thing that goes wrong. The antipode.
So, with Qin Shi Bao at his most desperate, he doesn't even realize he's just sold off the very symbol of his former standing.
We find ourselves in Erxian village, and there are three main players here. Wang Budang, Li Xuansui, and Shan Changqin. Shan Changqin's just made a deal. He thinks it's brilliant, but really it's setting up this moment of huge regret and a kind of moral lapse.
Okay, let's break down that deal. So Jackson's thrilled. He's managed to buy this incredible horse, a 1,000-mile dragon colt, for just 30 taels of silver. Seems like a steal.
Oh, absolutely. He's celebrating. But his friends, they're immediately a bit uneasy about it.
Why is that?
Well, the horse is clearly worth way more, and Wang Bodang, he's kind of the sharper one here, he immediately gives this warning. It's almost like a piece of strategic advice that points right at the failure that just happened.
What does he say?
He warns Johnson, don't go chasing small advantages, because, he says, those little wins often lead to great losses.
Why does this source put that moral point right there? It seems aimed at Johnson's character, but then it quickly becomes about something else, doesn't it?
That's the strategic insight, yeah. The greater loss isn't the money, it's about the friendship. Johnson realizes pretty fast that the seller wasn't just some random guy down on his luck. The small advantage he grabbed, it was basically exploiting the desperation of a genuine hero, the anonymous man from Shandong. It was Qin Shi Bao.
Oh, wow. So the loss isn't the horse, it's the chance he missed. The chance to help his friend, show him respect when he needed it most.
Exactly. And the sources even mention, that Yongsan had met Shi Bao before, but poverty had just changed him, made him unrecognizable, stripped him of that heroic aura, maybe.
So, okay, huge regret kicks in. The three friends, they stay up, drinking, plotting. It's the fifth watch, like super early morning. They're planning this rescue mission.
Yeah, they get another horse ready, and they rush off to Wang Xiao's shop at the Westgate Market. They're desperate to catch Shi Bao before he heads back to Jinan.
The intention's good, but this is where things start to go sideways, isn't it? Destiny seems to step in.
It really does, in a complicated way. First, just simple human failure gets in the way. They get to the shop. Shi Bao's already gone.
And the shopkeeper, Wang Xiao, he doesn't exactly help.
No, he actively hinders them. He tells them a flat-out lie.
What does he say?
Claims Shi Bao was in a massive hurry, grabbed a relay horse, and shot straight back to Shandong. But he knows Shi Bao left on foot. Burdened, poor, ashamed.
Why do that? Why mislead them?
Well, it creates this critical delay, doesn't it? If they knew Shi Bao was walking, maybe only a few liadao, they could have caught him easily, helped him.
Right, prevented what comes next.
But the lie buys time. And just as Yongsan is about to jump on his fancy new horse, the 1,000-mile colt, to chase him down anyway, bam, fate throws a wrench in the works. A huge one.
This is the interruption, the really dramatic moment. A messenger gallops up. Terrible news.
Devastating news. It stops everything cold. Shan Xuantin's own brother. He's been killed, shot by an arrow near Chan, fired by Tang Gong.
Oh, man. So the pursuit is just over. Instantly.
Instantly. He has to go mourn his brother Bao. The mission to find Shi Bao, completely abandoned. And you see, while it's tragic for Shi Yongsan, the narrative needs this to happen to Shi Bao.
Needs it. How so?
Well, think about it. If his friends had caught up to him then, he'd have been okay. Comfortable, probably, recovering with buddies. But the story seems determined to push him towards a totally different and honestly much more important encounter.
It's almost like cruel irony. Just when help is about to arrive, fate slams the door shut, forces Shi Bao to face this refining process all alone. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If that tragedy hadn't struck Xiongsan.
Yeah, would Shi Bao have ever met the person waiting for him? The narrative strongly suggests no. While his friends are dealing with their grief, Shi Bao is plumbing the absolute depths of his own misfortune. We shift focus from their drama back to the hero's lonely struggle.
And the text is so specific about his suffering. It's not vague at all. We know he walked all night, but only made it about 5 lines. That's what, just over 2 kilometers?
Barely anything. And he's not used to walking like that. He's a horseman. Plus, he's angry about the whole shop incident, frustrated, and then he gets lost in some mountain hollow in the dark.
And then it gets worse.
Oh, yeah. This is where that whole philosophy heaven testing its heroes gets very real, very physical. Misfortune piles on. It's not just being poor or lost anymore. Now he gets seriously ill.
Right. The text is almost like a doctor's note. It connects his, emotional state directly to his physical breakdown.
It really does. It lists the causes. It's like a perfect storm.
What were they again?
Okay, so first, he had some cold beef back at the market. That caused internal problems. Second, huge emotional distress. Just the sheer shame of selling his horse like that, that's like an internal injury itself. And third, the physical cold. He walked all night in heavy frost. So it's this combination: bad food inside, severe cold outside, plus the emotional turmoil. His system just gives out.
So by dawn, the next day, second day of the 10th month, the hero is basically broken.
Yeah.
Body like fire, head pounding, dizzy.
He just manages to drag himself another 5 li, reaches this place called Ten Li's shop, sees this big temple, the East Peak Temple Wonher. He's trying to get inside, find refuge, but his body just quits.
He collapses right on the doorstep.
Right at the threshold. This horse describes it so vividly. He tries to climb the steps to the main hall, but his legs won't work. He trips on the actual doorstep and just crashes down right near the incense burner.
And the sound. Let's pause on that. It wasn't just a man falling. It was louder. More significant.
Absolutely, because he's still carrying his weapons, remember? Those famous 2 gold-plated maces Wu Thao strapped to his back.
Ah, right.
When he hits the stone floor, the maces hit too, and they hit so hard they actually shatter 7 or 8 pieces of the fancy floor tiles. That crash, it's like an announcement, a signal.
The arrival of the fallen hero?
Precisely, and that sound, that violent shattering, is heard by the exact person who is essentially waiting for him. The master of this temple isn't just some caretaker. He is Wei Zheng, styled Xuan Cheng, a scholar from Weisu.
Okay, so this is the strategic mind entering the picture.
Yeah.
Wei Sheng. And he's not just book smart, is he? The text paints him as this, intellectual giant.
Oh, completely. He didn't just study. He mastered everything. The classics, the 3 tombs, 5 canons, 8 diagrams, 9 hills, all of the different philosophical schools, astronomy, geography, military tactics. Proficient in everything.
So why is this genius dressed as a Taoist priest in some remote temple? That seems odd.
Well, yeah, and if you think about the context, the Sui dynasty at the time, it makes sense. The regime really valued military guys, the Yu, and people born into powerful families, the Qiu.
Right, inherited status.
Exactly. Brilliant scholars like Wei Zheng, especially if they didn't have connections, the isolated and poor ones, they were basically ignored. Sidelined. The system didn't value his kind of strategic thinking. So he's kind of in self-imposed exile.
So he's withdrawn, not because he wants to be a hermit, but because the path he should be on, the statesman's path, is blocked. But he's not just sitting there meditating, is he? He has a purpose.
He absolutely does. A friend, this Zhu Hongqi, apparently gave him a prophecy, said the Sui dynasty was going to collapse soon, and that a true man, a future ruler, had already been born.
Okay.
And Zhu Hongqi told Wei Zheng, look, you got the bones of a duke or a minister. You're meant for high office, not, achieving immortality. Your job is to find and gather the future king's assistants, the Yu.
Wow. So he's actively recruiting.
He is. His whole reason for being in Luzhu, in this temple, was specifically to meet people like Shan Xingzhen, and crucially to seek out several heroes in distress.
He was literally waiting for a hero to fall down in front of him.
Amazing. And how does he know this collapsed guy is the one he's looking for? It's not just a guess, right?
Not at all. It's celestial confirmation. This is such a cool detail.
Yeah.
Wei Jing basically says, I was observing the heavens last night, and he saw that the gang star, the star representing a hero, is right over this location, Wuyit.
Whoa.
Meaning, a great hero is suffering right here, right now. Xu Bao's absolute lowest point, his moment of shame and sickness, was literally a flare sent up into the cosmos, flagging him as essential.
Incredible. So Wei Jing rushes out.
Yeah.
Xu Bao can't talk, right? He's too sick.
Yeah, initially Wei Jing thinks maybe the guy's just drunk. I mean, loud crash, face all red from fever.
Does it sense?
But Xu Bao somehow manages to trace 2 characters in the dust on the floor tiles with his finger. Sick.
That changes things. Instantly. It proves he's coherent, not just drunk. A man worthy of aid, of respect.
And Wei Xiang doesn't just, give him some water. He knows exactly what's wrong.
Right away. This shows his breadth of knowledge. He checks the pulse, does a quick exam, and nails the diagnosis. Xiaoyang channel syndrome.
Which matches what the text told us earlier.
Perfectly. Confirms his analysis. Internal injury from the food, external injury from the wind and cold. He knows it's serious, but treatable with the right approach. His ability to go from reading stars to diagnosing illness. It shows his immense value. Strategic and practical.
So the care he gives is really specific. Moves him to a quiet room, out of the draft, gives him medicine to make him sweat, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he carefully takes charge of Xu Bao's few belongings, the silk, the robe, his papers, the bit of silver left. He's safeguarding not just the man, but his identity, his remaining dignity.
And the maces, what happens to them?
Ah, the maces.
Yeah.
Since they caused the big crash, Wei Xiang has them tied up securely with thick ropes and put in a corner of the room. But it's not just storage. The text says it's to ward off evil spirits and negative energy. So the weapons, the symbols of his power and his fall, now become protectors during his recovery.
That's quite symbolic.
Yeah.
And does it work? Does Xu Bao recover?
He does. The medicine works. He sweats out the fever. The next day, his head is clear. He can talk again. Wei Xiang nurses him back with simple rice gruel aya, but also, importantly, through conversation. They talk, they connect intellectually.
So the bond forms, not just patient and caregiver, but allies.
Exactly. The crisis leads directly to this crucial alliance. Qin Shubao, the warrior hero, literally collapses into the care of Wei Xiang, the strategic genius. It's the perfect fulfillment of that opening poem, isn't it?
It really is. The absolute moment of being broken, sick, poor, lost, ashamed. That's the precise moment destiny connects him with the guide he needs for whatever huge role is coming next. And the setting itself is pretty loaded, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's the East Peak Temple in Luzhu, and it's the 3 Yuan Festival, the 10th day of the 10th month. So this is a time when everyone's there to, well, show off their piety, their status.
Makes Xu Bao's situation, his visible shame, even worse. He sticks out like a sore thumb.
So let's get into just how bad it was for him.
Yeah, the source paints a grim picture. 14 days, 2 full weeks, he's been sick, weak, barely functional.
And his appearance, it's described as, well, awful.
Unwashed face, tangled hair, basically rags for clothes.
And the contrast is just brutal. This guy is from noble stock, right? Descendant of Northern Qi officials? A hero's lineage.
Yeah, background of virtue and power.
But right then, you couldn't tell him apart from a beggar. And the people at the festival, the worshippers, they see him as more than just an eyesore.
They see him as, actively contaminating the place.
Absolutely. The text mentions their 7-tongued gossip. They call him a useless foreign person.
Saying he's defiling the sacred temple. It's complete social rejection.
And the novel makes it clear, Xu Bao feels this deeply. He's ashamed, embarrassed, but too weak, too beaten down to even argue.
His illness has literally stripped everything away.
Which is why Wei Xuancheng stands out so much.
The temple host.
Yeah, the Taoist priest, the Huangguan, he's the only one showing any kindness at all. He's been giving Xu Bao medicine, and the text says it's purely out of a single thought of compassion. No other motive.
And Wei Xuancheng's interesting because he's not your typical temple manager, is he? Usually they try to keep everyone happy.
Exactly. Keep the peace, appease the rich patrons, don't upset the local toughs.
But Wei Xuancheng isn't doing that.
No, the source stresses he's high-minded, intellectual almost. He doesn't bend his principles for local politics or influence.
Which is why the locals resent him too, right? For protecting Xu Bao.
Precisely. It makes them look bad, judgmental. Wei Xuancheng is just operating on a different level, morally speaking. He refuses to play the appearance game.
Okay, so you get this really tense situation. Xu Bao's hiding, Wei's protecting him, the locals are furious.
And then the biggest fish in the local pond arrives, Shan Xiangxin, the single commander.
Right. Big deal in the region.
Huge. And he's there for something important, a Wang Zhao, a big memorial service for his dead brother. Very public, very solemn.
And the local leaders see their opening.
Oh, yeah. They immediately go to Shan Xiangxin, pressure him, You got to deal with this priest, Wei Xuancheng. He's harboring this filthy guy during your brother's sacred ritual.
They expect him to just lay down the law, side with them.
But he doesn't bite. Not immediately. That's the first sign he's different.
What does he say?
He's measured. He says something like, I'll talk to him first. There will be reason. He avoids that knee-jerk reaction. It tells you he's got some wisdom, he's not just a strong man.
Okay, so he doesn't just send someone else. He investigates himself.
He does. He takes a tour of the temple.
All right.
And this tells you something about him before he even knows who the sick man is.
What's that?
He pays attention to details others would miss. While he's looking around, he spots something crucial. Hidden away, dark corner, behind the bell rack.
The weapons.
The double maces. Jian.
But they weren't just lying there, right? There was something specific.
Yes. They were tied together with grass rope. Think about that. A warrior's signature weapons, powerful maces, bound with the cheapest, most basic material imaginable.
Wow. That says everything. Power stripped bare.
Exactly. Shan Jiangsun stops. He recognizes the type of weapon, knows it belongs to a serious fighter.
Right.
But the grass robe, that screams absolute poverty.
And the temple workers tell him they belong to the sick guy.
They confirm it, and that's when the wheels really start turning for Shan Jiangshan.
So he goes to Wei Xuancheng.
He does, not angry, but focused. He needs answers, and Wei tells him everything.
The name?
Shenjiu, courtesy name Xu Bao, from Kizu, Shandong, and the clincher, descendant of Northern Tea meritorious officials.
Ah, so the place and the lineage.
That's what hits Shan Jiangshan, Shandong Kizu, that lineage. This isn't just some random vagrant. This is someone from the warrior elite, someone he might even know, or at least know of.
The whole situation flips, doesn't it?
Completely. The shame isn't on Xu Bao anymore. It's on Lu Zhu, on him as the local big shot, for letting a man of this caliber suffer like that.
Okay, let's switch back to Xu Bao for a moment. He's feeling tiny bit better hiding out.
Right, avoiding the main hall. But it's not the physical stuff that hits him hardest now. It's something else.
What happens?
He's resting in a back pavilion, and he just overhears something simple. A temple servant is getting supplies.
That kind of supplies.
Humble stuff. A bit of millet, some dried vegetables. The servant mentions making porridge for his own sick mother back home.
Oh, wow. And that triggers something in Xu Bao.
It absolutely crushes him. This simple act of filial duty by someone so ordinary, it just highlights his own failure.
The guilt.
Overwhelming. He's got all this talent, this potential. He's a renowned warrior. But he's failed the most fundamental duty, caring for his mother. He pictures her worrying, waiting, maybe thinking he's dead.
And he just breaks down.
Yeah, bursts into tears. It's not about the illness anymore. It's about this deep spiritual wound. Unfulfilled duty, wasted potential.
And he needs to get it out somehow.
He does. He finds a brush nearby, just a blunt one, used for temple accounts, nothing fancy, and he starts writing on the wall.
The Manjiang Hong, the famous poem.
That's the one. But it's not about war or glory. It's a lament. About being trapped, blocked.
What kind of imagery does he use?
Really powerful stuff. He calls himself a fish stuck in a ditch, drowning in smallness, you know. Instead of the soaring rock, the great bird, or the charging tiger he feels he should be.
Crying out about wasted hot blood.
Yeah, and that fear of growing old without achieving anything. He writes about fearing that white hair will appear on his young head. It's incredibly raw.
It shows his nobility, not through boasting, but through this exposed shame, right?
Exactly. His true character isn't in his past deeds right now. It's in this vulnerability, this agony over failing his mother and his own potential. It's etched onto that wall.
And just as he finishes.
Shan Jianam finds him right there in the pavilion. The timing is perfect.
The reunion. Does Shan Jiansun hesitate?
Zero hesitation. He sees Xu Bao sick, filthy, broken Velo, recognizes him fully now, and strides forward, grabs him.
And
Then he does something stunning. He kneels.
Shan Jiansun kneels to the sick man.
Kneels right there. Expresses this deep, profound shame. Not Xu Bao, his shame, as the local host for letting his friend endure such sad and desolate conditions in his own territory.
Wait, isn't that a huge risk for Shan Jiansun? Socially. He's got this big ritual planned for his brother.
He does, but for men like them, that bond, that brotherhood, Yiki, it trumps public ceremony. It trumps local politics.
So kneeling isn't just apology, it's
validation. He's saying, your honor is intact. I recognize you. Your suffering is now my burden. And then he says it outright. I would die for a friend. That's the ideal of Ziji, a friend who truly knows you, understands you completely. It's deeper than just friendship.
wow. And he backs it up immediately.
Instantly. Brother's ritual. Postponed.
Yeah.
He pays Wei Xuancheng generously for the medicine, the care, the interrupted ritual preparations. Then he gathers Xu Bao's few belongings.
What was there?
Not much. Couple bolts of silk, a purple garment, some official document, and about 10 taels of silver. and Shan Jiangxin looks at that silver.
He knows what it is.
He knows exactly what it is. It's the money Xu Bao got for selling that horse earlier. And when Shan Jiangxin sees that silver, it just confirms everything. The sacrifice Xu Bao made, the integrity he maintained even at his lowest point, it seals it.
And the recovery.
Immediate turnaround. No expense spared. Xu Bao is carried out with dignity in a covered sedan chair, mind you, to Shan Jiangxin's estate, the two worthies' estate, Erxianshui.
And there, it's more than just medicine.
Oh, much more. It's total restoration. Baths, fresh clothes, warm bedding, proper nourishing food. But also, crucially, companionship. Constant supportive talk, healing the spirit as much as the body.
So Shan Jiangxin and Wei Xuancheng become...
His Ziji, his bosom friends. They proved their worth not when he was strong, but when he was at his weakest. That's the real test.
Okay, so while Xu Bao is finally safe and recovering in Luzhu, we have to remember the reason for all this shame. His mother back in Shandong.
Right, back in Kizu. And she's in a terrible state.
No word from him.
For months. She's convinced he's dead. The worry has made her physically ill. She's bedridden, just wasting away.
But his community is still there for her, right? His friends.
Absolutely. Loyalty runs deep there, too. 4 of his close friends come to visit her. Jie Runfu, Tang Wanren, Lian Ming, and Fan Jianwei.
Ah, Fan Jianwei. The travel companion. He's the one who came back alone.
Exactly. So the mother and the other friends, they're grieving, but they're also blaming him. Why did you leave him? What happened? They fear the worst, and they hold Fan responsible.
So Fan Jianwei is in a tough spot. He has to explain.
He does. And to clear Xu Bao's name, he has to confess his own mistake. It's painful.
What does he tell them?
He lays it all out. First, the delay in the capital. Shan, 2 months sorting out official papers. That wasn't Xu Bao's fault.
Okay.
Second, he tells them about Xu Bao's heroism at Lintong Mountain, rescuing the Duke of Tang, Li Yuan. An honorable act that it took time and effort.
So far, so good for Xu Bao's reputation.
Right. But then comes the hard part. Fan confesses he messed up with the money. Badly.
Wow.
In the confusion of parting ways, or maybe just carelessness, he admits he accidentally kept all of Xu Bao's travel money mixed in with his own things, and then he spent it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Not maliciously, it sounds like, just a terrible, humiliating blunder. But it explains why Xu Bao was suddenly penniless, and Fan Yu, right there, repays the full amount he used.
Wow. That takes guts to admit that. He takes the hit to restore his friend's situation.
It's a big character moment for Fan Jianwei, too. But the mother's reaction, that's really something.
She doesn't just take the money.
No. For her, the duty, the filial responsibility, it overrides everything. She tells Fan Jianwei to take that silver he just repaid and use it all as new travel funds.
To go find him.
Immediately. She's sick, weak, but she writes a letter. Her only focus is getting her son back safe, restoring his honor, letting him fulfill his duties. The money's just the tool. Her son is the priority.